they didn't tell people they were on fire. And Brandy will be honored with the Black Music Icon Award during Grammy Week on January 29th in Los Angeles. The Recording Academy says the award celebrates her artistry and cultural impact. Get BIN News now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique. But you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The biggest game in the NFL regular season jumps off tonight in Seattle. The Rams and Seahawks, both 11-3 in the NFC West, meet up in a battle that will have a major impact on the number one seed in the NFC playoffs. A win tonight gives the Rams the inside track with 2 games remaining. 5:15 kickoff on Fox 11 and Amazon Prime for all you streamers. Former NFL linebacker Hardy Nickerson, who grew up in Compton, made some history Wednesday in California high school football. He's the first black head coach to be hired by a school in the prestigious Trinity League Conference. Nickerson, a 5-time Pro Bowl selection, was hired by J. Sarah High School. Nickerson led Bishop O'Dowd High School in Oakland to the Division V AA state championship this season. The Trinity League has produced 5 state champions since 2019 and has 7 players on NFL rosters this season. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Happy holidays! This holiday season, KBLA Talk 1580 wishes you and yours joy, peace, and prosperity. As we celebrate with family and friends, we're already looking forward to an exciting first quarter, packed with must-attend events to kick off the new year just right. In January, join us for our inaugural Brotherhood Brunch, bringing together community leaders, change makers, and everyday people for inspiration and connection. February means it's time for our signature Black History Month luncheon, a powerful celebration you won't want to miss. And in March, Women's KBLA Talk 1580. Happy holidays. Stay tuned for more details on these incredible upcoming events. KBLA Talk 1580. Your voice, your community, your power.
I'm Tavis Smiley, glad to have you with us in this third and final hour of our Year-End Roundtable. We do this every year. When I get to the last day of the live show, we bring together many of the voices you've heard over the course of this year. I am blessed to be surrounded every day, every week on this program with some amazing contributors. And so we try to get them all together in a 3-hour show that we call, once again, the Year in Review Roundtable. And what a day it has been. In our first hour, we were joined by Danielle Moody and Rashad Robinson, Connie Rice, and Dr. Cornel West. In our second hour, we were joined by Elizabeth Booker Houston, Tim Golden, Connie Rice, and Dr. Cornel West. And in this hour, we wrapped this Year in Review Roundtable with Dr. Nii-Quartelai Quartey, host of his own program, A More Perfect Union, on our station here in L.A., KBLA Talk 1580, also our White House correspondent. Honored to have him in studio with us right now. Dr. Quartey, how are you today, sir?
I'm well. How are you today, sir?
You know me, if I complain about being in, great. Also pleased to be joined in this hour by Representative Chris Rabb out of Pennsylvania. Brother Rabb, how are you today, sir?
I'm well, thank you. Good to be back.
And we are delighted to have with us still in this final hour Dr. Cornel West. I want to just, before I jump into this conversation in this final hour, I want to, Nii-Quartelai walked in the studio and said, "Did you see the news?" I said, "What?" I've been obviously busy trying to moderate this Year in Review Roundtable, and so I did not see this news. But here comes I'm thinking of the classic Broadway track, "Don't You Come in Bringing Me Some Bad News." But go ahead and give it to me, Nii-Quartelai.
Well, Tavis, the Associated Press is reporting that President Trump's hand-picked board voted today to rename Washington's leading performing arts center. We've all known it as the Kennedy Center. They have voted to rename it the Trump Kennedy Center. The press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, she announced the vote on social media, saying it was because of the, quotes, unbelievable work President Trump has done over the last year in saving the building, not only from the standpoint of its reconstruction, but also financially and its reputation.
We were talking in the first hour, Doc, and some in the second hour about the mendacity run amok right about now. But in fairness, let me just say this. There have been any number of politicians who have had their names placed on buildings. We are not unaccustomed to that. But I'm thinking of I have refused all these years to call it anything but Washington National. Nii-Quartelai, you know what I'm talking about.
I know.
I will not call it what they call it. To me,
right.
It has been and always will be national, Washington National at most. But it ain't ever going to be the other for me. Mm-hmm. That's just me.
Right.
So now they have voted, as you just heard, to rename the Kennedy Center the Trump Kennedy Center, like they did with the airport in D.C. Reagan added his name to it. But let me just start with you, Chris Rabb. I just got 2 minutes right quick. We can continue, of course, for the rest of the hour. But how does that news strike you, sir?
It is it is on par with everything he does. I think ultimately someone's greatest strength overplayed becomes their liability. And I think this will be one of the things that will allow more people to turn against him when the moment is right. And we already saw that happening this past election cycle, and it will continue because of this type of mendacity, to use your words.
Yeah. How's that strike you, Doc, this news?
No, I think Brother Chris hit the nail on the head. But I'll say this, though. I think anytime you have an arts center, you don't need to name it after any politician. It ought to be Duke Ellington, Sarah Vaughan. I'd say Curtis Mayfield, but that might be too Chicago for D.C. I understand that. Or it could be Aretha. It ought to be about an artist, because the arts is something that's never reducible to just dealing with Machiavellian dynamics of politics. And politics is inescapable and unavoidable, but the arts speaking to us at a level that's so different, and you don't need a center named after a politician, let alone a gangster like Trump.
Yeah, well, there's your breaking news.
Can I just add, Tavis?
Sure.
This has nothing to do with affordability. Mm-hmm. What is naming the Kennedy Center the Trump Kennedy Center? Mm-hmm. What's that doing for the base? Hey, to all the folks who are part of MAGA, what you think about this? How you feel about this?
Yeah.
How's this hitting your pocketbook?
Yeah. It ain't changing your condition. I take your point. Going to be a great final hour here in our Year-End Review Roundtable. We're joined by Dr. Nii-Quartelai Quartey, Pennsylvania State Rep Chris Rabb. Dr. Cornel West is with us, and I think when we come forward, we're going to get a brief conversation with the Minority Leader in the House, Hakeem Jeffries. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
Interrogating and unpacking. That's what we do around here. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Find what you love. Love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer. Thousands of wines. Guides in the know. And prices so low. It just might blow your mind. You love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Make a move into a home of your own. With City National Bank's Ladder Up Home Loan Grant, you could receive up to $20,000 that you never need to pay back. Use it toward your down payment, save on closing costs, or to buy down your mortgage rate. Find out more at cnb.com/ladderuphome. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Property must be in a qualifying market in California, New York, or New Jersey. Additional terms and conditions apply. Not all applicants will qualify. Terms are subject to change without notice. City National Bank is an equal housing lender. Member FDIC. NMLS number 536994.
KBLA Talk 1580 congratulates Malik Books on celebrating 35 years in business.
It's a celebration.
Malik Books proudly houses one of the largest African American and diverse children's books in the nation. This is the perfect time to pick up holiday reads, meaningful gifts, and to support literacy in our community. For 35 years, Malik Books has stood strong in the Black Book Revolution, uplifting stories that heal, inspire, and transform. One reader at a time. Change your thoughts, change your life. Books are the gift that keeps giving. From all of us at KBLA Talk 1580, congratulations to Malik Books on 35 years of culture, pride, and community.
Helping to make you the most knowledgeable person in your circle of friends. This is Tavis Smiley.
It is true that he is the minority leader in the House of Representatives. It is true that if Democrats can take over the House in November, he will be the first African-American to be Speaker of the U.S. House. But it's also true he's my fraternity brother. He's a good Kappa. We are pleased to welcome Hakeem Jeffries to this program. Leader Jeffries, how are you, sir?
Great to be with you. Alpha Chapter in the building. Always appreciate you, Tavis. And also congratulations on the success that Indiana University is having with their football season, an extraordinary season.
You were kind to say that. I'm looking forward to going to the Rose Bowl to see them play. They're coming out my way here in California, so it makes it easy for me. I ain't got to travel but 15 miles down the road to see them. I know you got a tight schedule, just about 5 or 6 minutes here. Let me just ask you to give me and give the audience an update. Here we are near the end of the year. Everybody concerned about these health care subsidies. What's happening in real time, Leader Jeffries?
Well, we were very successful yesterday in obtaining the 218 votes needed. All 214 members of the House Democratic Caucus, plus 4 House Republicans, joined us yesterday morning to trigger an up or down vote on extending the Affordable Care Act tax credits connected to legislation that I've introduced that would extend it in a straightforward way for 3 years, because we believe that working-class Americans, middle-class Americans, provide to the wealthy, the well-off, the well-connected, and their big donors. So right now, We're waiting on Mike Johnson, demanding that Mike Johnson actually bring that legislation to the floor today. Connected to the rules, he can wait as much as 7 legislative days, which would take us into early January. But there's no reason for him to wait, and we're going to continue to keep the pressure on him so we can get these tax credits extended before they expire at the end of the month.
I said on this program yesterday that this is so it's kind of stuck on stupid. That's my language. You are more you're more classy than I am, so you wouldn't say nothing like that. But it's also the stuck on stupid for me because this is going to impact their base. Their base cares about rising health care costs as well. Why are they so blind on this?
Yeah, it's unbelievable when these people really are blind. They're burying their heads in the sand, and they're obsessed with the Affordable Care Act. These people have tried to repeal it now more than 70 different times over the last 15 years, and the American people have only grown in their affection in terms of the support for the Affordable Care Act because it impacts everyone, Tavis, as you just indicated. Republicans, Democrats, independents, people all across the country. In fact, the 10 states that would be most adversely impacted if the Affordable Care Act tax credits expire are all states currently run by Republicans. We're talking about West Virginia, Wyoming, Alaska, Tennessee, Mississippi, South Carolina, Alabama, Texas, North Dakota, and South Dakota. And Florida has millions of people as well who would be adversely impacted if there are changes made that are adverse to the Affordable Care. So it's extraordinary to me. Yeah. This isn't a patriotic fight for us. This isn't a partisan fight. It's a patriotic fight because we're fighting to make life better for everybody.
My colleague, my White House correspondent, Dr. Nii-Quartelai Quartey is here. Dr. Quartey, your question for the leader.
Leader Jeffries, can you dial us in to what's the strategy in the Senate? So if you're successful in the House and if the 4 Republicans join the Democratic caucus, what assurance do you have it's going to pass the finish line in the Senate?
Well, Abraham Lincoln once said that public sentiment is everything. With it, nothing can fail. Without it, nothing can succeed. We'll have renewed momentum if we can move the legislation out of the Republican-controlled House over the objection of Donald Trump and over the objection of the Deputy Speaker, Mike Johnson, right? Because Donald Trump says he's both the president and the speaker. And we're able to go around them in order to do what's right for the American people. That will intensify the pressure on the Senate. Now, we also know in the Senate, though the bill initially did not hit the 60-vote threshold, that the 3-year extension of the Affordable Care Act tax credits did secure the support of at least 4 different Republicans, and that bill has more support than any other bill in the Senate chamber. So we think there will be renewed momentum and opportunity. We'll work closely with our Senate Democratic colleagues, but what's important, of course, is to jumpstart the effort again by getting it out of the House of Representatives.
Jeffries, I know you got a full schedule. My final question, what's your gut tell you about what's about to happen?
Well, listen, I think that Johnson's going to try to delay this as much as possible, but many of his traditional conservative members who have now partnered with us don't want to leave town without getting this done. And so we've made clear that, listen, we should stay here until the Affordable Care Act tax credits are extended. And if the House adjourns, it falls squarely on the Republicans. And there are many on the other side of the aisle who don't want to take that heat. So, the next couple of days will be interesting, but we're going to keep the pressure on. And ultimately, I believe, even if this waits until early January, we are going to successfully get this bill out of the House. It will have bipartisan support, and that will increase the pressure on the Senate. And then retroactively, we'll have to deal with perhaps reopening the open enrollment period so we can restore the health insurance to people and make it more affordable, having gotten the tax credits restored.
It's been fun, but I know my good copper brother has got to run. Hakeem Jeffries, I love you, and I appreciate you. Thank you for your time, sir.
Love you. Appreciate you, brother.
All right, good to have you on the program. Chris Rabb, state rep in Pennsylvania, you are in a congressional race right now. Should you win this, you will be in the House of Representatives. Your sense of this tete-a-tete that's going down right now in Washington, sir?
Well, it's very familiar with, very similar to the dynamic I'm experiencing in Harrisburg, state capital of Pennsylvania, where I serve in the largest full-time state legislature in the country, where we have a 1-vote majority in the House, Democrats, and fascists control the Senate. So this is similar in some respects, but we also have discharge resolutions where we sought to do this. And I think Dr. Quartey is right when we say, well, what happens if this gets out the House? What happens to the Senate? Because my mother likes to say, you got a 0% chance if you don't try.
Yeah.
Right. We have to take our victories. We have to get it out of the House and put public pressure in the Senate to do the right thing, even if it takes us to early January. But here's the other piece. The narrative is what matters. And one of the reasons I've enjoyed coming on your show and supporting Black independent media and so forth is because as long as our interests are controlled by 5 tech bros, that narrative is not going to be the narrative that needs to reach people in rural communities, communities of struggle, to know exactly why we need to extend these subsidies to provide the healthcare insurance that millions of families need. So when we say, well, why are they voting against their own interests? If they don't fully understand how their opinions are warped by how they consume media, we've already lost. So that's why independent media, and that's why these narratives have to get out so people can be more informed when they make decisions when they at the ballot box.
You've been discussing this on your program as well, Nii-Quartelai. What am I missing? Or put another way, what is your read of the reason why on an issue that is as important to their base as it is to our base, Republicans have dug their heels in on this?
Well, I think Republicans have enjoyed running against Obamacare, running against the Affordable Care Act. I think it's been a wedge issue that's worked out well for them when running for any public office. It's worth noting that they don't have a plan on what to replace it with. I mean, the closest we've got to a plan from Republicans is President Trump saying, let's give the money to the people. Let's give the money to the people instead of the insurance companies. Well, that's misleading, because, well, how much money are you going to give to the people? And is it going to be enough for the people to actually get the health care that they need? Is it going to be a one-time deal, or is it going to keep up with the cost of inflation? These are questions that need answers that Republicans still don't have. 15 years they've been running against Obamacare, running against the Affordable Care Act, and they have no plan. Think about what that means. Think about how many people depend on their health care coverage for their medication. They depend on it, to provide the basic services that they need in order to live with dignity. And the fact that for Republicans, this has just been a wedge issue for 15 years.
Yeah. It is mind-boggling, the extent to which they, as Nii-Quartelai says, have pushed back on Obamacare. I think part of it is, certainly for Donald Trump, I think Trump just hates the fact that it's named Obamacare, right?
Well, absolutely.
He just
or any black person.
Exactly. That just drives him crazy that Obama's name is on it. As we were talking earlier about the fact that his name will now apparently be on the Kennedy Center, so now it's the Trump Kennedy Center. So part of it is just that just bothers him, outright. But it is amazing to me that they would be so cavalier about an issue that impacts their base. These premiums are going to rise, mine included. If they can't figure this out, these premiums are going to rise through the roof. I'm just being honest. I'm concerned about how I'm going to pay my own health care. My stuff ain't cheap now, and I can't imagine what it's going to look like come next year if they can't seem to figure this out. Dr. West, I know, and this audience knows, that you have had a critique of course, of the way the Democratic Party has shown up or not shown up of late. On this particular issue, they seem to be on the right side. But I am curious to get your take on, in this year, how you think Democrats have shown up. What's your assessment of them in 2025?
Well, let me begin. And the good news is that we have independent black media like yourself, though, brother, who's not on anybody's plantation. I don't care what party, I don't care what church, I don't care what political party. You got to speak your mind. That's what we love about our dear brother Quartey. He's younger generation, crucial. He speaks his mind. So wherever he comes down, he's a free man. He's not a slave on that plantation, whatever party he chooses. But when you come down, it's in the name of truth. It's in the name of justice, in the name of something that's bigger than any party. So when we think of the Democratic Party, it's not monolithic, it's not homogeneous. I love Sister Nina Turner. Ain't no doubt about that. I love William Barber. I love a whole host of folk who are inside of the party. That doesn't mean that the establishment of that party is not mediocre, milquetoast, too cowardly for me in terms of speaking out on behalf of the least of these, the poor, the working classes, those dealing with occupation and Gaza and genocide and so forth. But I do think that we're in a moment now where the establishment of both of these parties are undergoing an erosion. The gangsters already taken over the Republican Party, and it is a neo-fascist party at this moment, but it's undergoing devolution, it's undergoing conflict, it's undergoing dissensus. There's tremendous conflict that's escalating within his own party, and the Democratic Party, as they move toward 2026 and 2028, they're going to have some serious conflict to come to terms with. But the crucial thing is we got to be able to tell the truth, and tell the truth from the vantage point of the people who are suffering, poor and working people. And it's dynamic. We don't know which way it's going to go, but we got to be true to ourselves. Without any integrity, honesty, and decency, none of these parties are worth anything.
What is Chris Rabb? What is the calling in this particular moment? What is the calling of progressives in this country?
Well, for me, it's an ancestral calling. And I think Sister Booker said on the previous hour that we are inheriting an extraordinary legacy of folks who have survived and thrived and found a way out of no way in previous generations and iterations in this American experiment. I myself descend from abolitionists and civil rights activists and troublemakers, whether ministers, educators, healers, judges, people on the front lines, people who may not be well known, but who are doing the work, not for personal enrichment, but for community uplift. And so I felt called to run for higher office because I'm in the most Democratic performing congressional district in the entire country. And this is the first open seat in 35 years. So there's no incumbent going to be on the ballot in May. And so a lot of people are running, and we have a choice to have another establishment Democrat, a status quo politician, or a transformational public servant who listens to people closest to the pain. And the young people, the thing they bring up the most, interestingly, is Palestine. And I have colleagues in the race, and this is a majority Black district. This is a young, urban, very poor district. I have opponents who are good people, but they cannot say things that they actually believe because they take corporate PAC money. And I like Brother West said, like if you are connected to those moneyed interests, you are muzzled, you are shackled. And that's why I feel it's so important that for those of us who remain independent of these establishments, and I'm a begrudging Democrat who's a democratic socialist, I am seeking to use these pathways to speak truth to power and represent folks closest to the pain against an establishment that is not talking about universal health care, right? Which is so much bigger and more important than Obamacare, right? We got to have those conversations, but if the moneyed interests don't allow viable candidates to do that, we've already lost.
Well, you know my point of view on this. If the Obama administration hadn't negotiated against themselves, we would have universal health care and not Obamacare. But that's a whole other conversation for another time. We're going to get into that. Representative Rabb I love that term you use, troublemakers. We all are troublemakers in our own right. And I want to talk when we come forward about the kind of good trouble, to quote John Lewis, the kind of good trouble that we can get into in 2026 to turn the tide against all that we've been up against in 2025. You're listening to the Year-End Roundtable on Tavis Smiley.
For all the freedom-loving folk, this is Tavis Smiley.
I feel like freedom.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. The House has passed a GOP health care bill in a 216 to 211 vote. Democrat Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez warns losing subsidies will hurt millions.
All of us are about to have our health costs skyrocket.
Kentucky's Thomas Massie was the lone Republican to vote no. The bill heads to the Senate, where it's unlikely to pass. A leaked video shows LA Mayor Karen Bass criticizing the response to the Palisades and Eaton fire, saying both sides botched it. Bass also blasted the lack of evacuation alerts in West Altadena, where nearly all 19 deaths occurred, saying they didn't tell people they were on fire. And Brandy will be honored with the Black Music Icon Award during Grammy Week on January 29th in Los Angeles. The Recording Academy says the award celebrates our artistry and cultural impact. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique. But you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The biggest game in the NFL regular season jumps off tonight in Seattle. The Rams and Seahawks, both 11-3 in the NFC West, meet up in a battle that will have a major impact on the number one seed in the NFC playoffs. A win tonight gives the Rams the inside track with 2 games remaining. 5:15 kickoff on Fox 11 and Amazon Prime for all you streamers. Former NFL linebacker Hardy Nickerson, who grew up in Compton, made some history Wednesday in California high school football. He's the first black head coach to be hired by a school in the prestigious Trinity League Conference. Nickerson, a 5-time Pro Bowl selection, was hired by J. Sarah High School. Nickerson led Bishop O'Dowd High School in Oakland to the Division V AA state championship this season. The Trinity League has produced 5 state champions since 2019 and has 7 players on NFL rosters this season. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Nugget Bells, Nuggets all the way.
Hi, I'm Kylie.
I'm John.
And I'm Garrison.
And a little thing we love about the 30-count Chick-fil-A nuggets
is sharing them when we cut down the Christmas tree.
We will pack the car with gifts, and of course, we go and pick up our family's favorite nuggets.
Every nugget is tasty times quadrillion.
And we get all the sides.
Yeah, the ooey gooey mac and cheese is a big hit.
Share the nuggets, share the joy. Order the 30-count Chick-fil-A nuggets on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
We've got a lot to talk about.
I'm Reverend Gerald, the life coach. Is someone you love struggling with addiction and mental illness? Is improving your family's health important? Want to leave a legacy that your family can grow? Are you ready to enhance your perception of life experiences? Then wake up weekends at 7 a.m. with Urban Family Focus and get the wisdom, opportunity, resources, and motivation to live your best life. Join the conversation on Urban Family Focus Saturday and Sunday at 7 a.m.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
What make you? Yeah.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
Paid for by government.com. Did you know? The United States Mint has issued a new Morgan silver dollar coin in proof condition for the first time. Not only that, they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 400,000 of these legal tender silver dollars were issued. These first ever Morgan silver dollars are brand new with stunning mirror-like finish, minted by the iconic San Francisco Mint. Call now and you're guaranteed a new first ever 99.9% pure silver proof Morgan dollar. To learn more, call 1-800-973-9717. If you order now, you will receive a free coin collector bonus pack, a $25 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9717 now to secure your new Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-973-9717.
Made fresh daily in the Mert Park, Los Angeles, California. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
Tavis Smiley and Dr. Nii-Quartelai Quartey, our White House correspondent, hosted his own program here in L.A. on our station, More Perfect Union, and Representative Chris Rabb and the Pennsylvania State House, and Dr. Cornel West. All of us are here together in this hour. In case you've just tuned in, Hakeem Jeffries, the minority leader in the House, called in to give us an update on what's happening with the Affordable Care Act. So it's... this program is heard, of course, around the country, different time zones, different times in those time zones. So the news is developing even as we speak. But as the day moves on, we'll see what comes of this vote that Democrats and for Republicans are demanding on what happens to these health care subsidies and whether or not they will expire at the end of this month, and all of our premiums will go through the roof. But we thank Leader Jeffries for calling in to at least give us an update on that particular issue. But I'm, again, delighted now to continue our conversation with our guest. Again, if you missed any part of today's program, I say once again, if you missed any part of today's program, check out the podcast when they're posted tonight. Just some amazing guests today on this Year-End Review Roundtable. In our first hour, we were joined by Danielle Moody, Rashad Robinson, Connie Rice, and Dr. Cornel West. In our second hour, Dr. Cornel West and Connie Rice stayed with us, and we were joined additionally by Elizabeth Booker Houston and Tim Golden. And in this hour, again, Representative Chris Rabb out of Pennsylvania, Dr. Nii-Quartelai Quartey, and Dr. West is here as well. Nii-Quartelai opened this hour, I should say, with some bad news, reporting that Trump's appointed board at the Kennedy Center has decided to rename it the Trump Kennedy Center. If you missed that news, yeah, I'm not making this up. That's a true story. And now here comes Nii-Quartelai with more news. What you got for me now, sir?
Well, the New York Times and other outlets are reporting that President Trump has signed an executive order to downgrade cannabis from the most restrictive category of drugs like heroin, which would facilitate medical research. He did not legalize marijuana. It's important to say he didn't legalize it, as some states have, but President Trump, he authorized a pilot program to reimburse Medicare patients for products made with CBD, a popular non-psychoactive compound of cannabis. This is a major win for the cannabis industry.
I'm about to ask, is this a gift for the cannabis industry or for the brothers?
For the industry.
Yeah.
Tap your brother on the shoulder. Yeah. Tell him it's for the industry.
It's for the industry, yeah.
We have medical cannabis is legal in Pennsylvania. We have 0 black-owned dispensaries in a state of 13 million people.
Wow.
0.
Wow.
0. Yeah. And we don't even have a Department of Health that has lived up to the basic requirement to produce a diversity report, because I'm guessing they are so embarrassed by the lack of diversity that they refuse to actually live up to the mandate of the statute. That's how bad it is. These things are based on industry and who gives money to whom. This goes back to what I said before the break about how people get in office based on what corporations are sponsoring them. And whatever issue you care about, whether it's healthcare, whether it's cannabis reform or what have you, the other 2 issues that every person, particularly black folk, have to keep in mind is electoral reform / voting rights. And, as we said before, media justice, right? If we don't have good black independent media, look, my great-great-grandparents founded the Baltimore Afro-American newspaper 133 years ago. We need to have an ecosystem where our voices are heard far and wide. And when you have 5 tech bros determining how 95% of the content we consume is being distributed and commercialized, that's an issue. So that can happen in Congress with the right people demanding that we break up monopolies, that we end this surveillance state, this political violence, this structural violence that impacts communities of struggle. this is the work that can happen in Congress if we bring the right people who are not already compromised by the time they're sworn into office.
Yep. Dr. West, no naivete here, but this storyline that Nii-Quartelai, he is my White House correspondent, even though he ain't in the White House right now. He's still reporting all this breaking news out of the White House here here in the studio in Los Angeles. But this story just underscores what we've seen all year long. This is a year in review conversation, and we've seen this all year long. But whatever you think of Donald Trump, he is unabashed in getting the backs of his friends, in supporting those persons who are in his circle. I've never seen anything like it. I wish the Democrats showed up in this way. And I want to connect this to the point that Chris Rabb just makes. It tears my hide. It rips my hide. I've been at this 30 plus years, almost 40 years now. Every election cycle, every presidential election cycle, the black media has to beg the Democratic Party to spend money on black media. I'm sick and tired of having that fight. I'm like Fannie Lou Hamer. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of having this fight all the time. And that's just one example. I could give you I give you a litany of examples of the ways in which we have to fight with our friends. We've got to fight with our friends sometime to look out for us. But Trump is unabashed in supporting those interests that he has investments in. Number one, it's clearly the big grift. But how do we read, Dr. West, that he's just there's no shame in his game, man.
No, he's a consistent thug and a gangster. We know that. But I do want to say this because I heard my brother say that the great John Murphy Jr., who was the founder of the Baltimore Sun, is your great-great-grandfather?
Yes, sir.
Man, we got to just pause on that, man. Because I think of what he went through. He was born a slave, made his break, and ended up creating one of the great institutions of not just black America, but of the country in terms of truth teller. Then we jump to 2025, Tavis Smiley, KBLS, 1580. Not just the station, but a long legacy of 30 years of making sure he's speaking his mind with a love of black people. You go from John Murphy Jr. to Tavis Smiley, towering figures, all of them having to somehow create a way out of no way in order to keep this truth going, in order to keep this bearing witness going. And so when we do see somebody like Trump, we say, okay, he's doing what he's doing, but he's not our primary point of reference. No, it's the John Murphys who are our point of reference. It's the Tavis Smileys who's our point of reference. They're the ones. And, of course, there's others. Ida B. Wells, T. Thomas.
Long list,
a long list, but a list.
Monroe Trotter, long list.
Monroe, but these are the love warriors and freedom fighters that we produced. Yeah. And when my brother mentioned his great-great-grandfather, I said, Lord, have mercy.
No, it is, as you can tell, Dr. West is my friend. he is my friend, and there's no denying that. But he raises an issue here, Dr. Quartey, that I want to tee up now and let you respond to when we come forward, because you and I are in this business together. Chris Rabb does his thing, Dr. West does his thing in academia, but you and I are in this media space. And again, because we're in the context of a year in review roundtable, we have seen this year so many black faces in corporate mainstream media be disappeared. We saw all those black people at MSNBC lose their jobs. I'm talking about on-air talent, Joy Reid and all the rest of them. We saw a couple weeks ago Michelle Miller, the wife of Mark Morial, president of the National Urban League, lose her job at CBS. We saw Maurice Dubois, the co-anchor of the CBS Evening News, lose his job. And on and on and on I could go in 2025 of all these black faces in media spaces that have been disappeared. So I'm piggybacking on the point that Chris Rabb made a moment ago, that it is incumbent upon us now as the last line of defense, the last line of truth-telling in black media spaces, independent media spaces. Our role and our responsibility is going to be greater in 2026 than it was even in 2025. And let me tie it to something else. We got midterms coming up. Black folk are the most loyal base of the Democratic Party. Who's going to be talking to black people? Don Lemon on YouTube, Joy on YouTube. Here we are with our platform. You see my point here, that black faces in media spaces have been disappeared in this year in a way that I have never seen in the 30 plus years of my career that Dr. West just referenced. What does that mean for us, for our audience, and for our platforms in 2026? That's the question for Dr. Quartey when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
From Leimert Park with love, this is Tavis Smiley.
1 year ago, flames tore through Altadena and Eaton Canyon, changing lives forever. From the ashes, can a beloved community rise stronger? Hi, I'm Dominique DePrima, host of First Things First, weekday mornings, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., here on KBLA Talk 1580. And I'm inviting you to join us on Wednesday, January 7th, as we broadcast live from Perry's Joint on the 1-year anniversary of this horrific and devastating fire. We're remembering those we lost, celebrating the heroes and sheroes who answered the call, and honoring the resilience of neighbors who are determined to rebuild together.
I've been a strong black woman a long time, and I can't just break down now.
Hear the stories of survival, the voices of recovery, the spirit of community that the fire couldn't destroy, and yes, the angst of those who still do not know where they go from here.
Yeah, where am I go?
At KBLA Talk 1580, we don't just cover the story, we're part of this community, and we've done our level best to hold those responsible for this fire accountable. And 1 year later, we're still standing together.
It is my hopes that black people will rebuild those homes.
So join us live at Perry's Joint, 2051 Lincoln Avenue in Pasadena, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Wednesday, January 7th, as we commemorate the 1-year anniversary of the Altadena Eaton Canyon fire. Because some stories demand to be remembered.
This too shall pass.
I got the champagne. Everybody can glass.
KBLA Talk 1580 congratulates our own Keith Underwood, host of the weekend entertainment show Black in the Green Room, on his recent honor at the annual National Arts and Entertainment Journalism Awards. Keith received a first place award presented by the Los Angeles Press Club for his entertainment reporting, and we couldn't be prouder. Congratulations, Keith, from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
Let's get back to more of this rich dialogue with Tavis Smiley.
Tavis Smiley, Pennsylvania Rep. Chris Rabb, Dr. Cornel West, Dr. Nii-Quartelai Quartey, the final hour of our Year in Review Roundtable. It's been a great show. By the way, in case you've just tuned in, I mentioned earlier, I mentioned again, that if you missed any part of today's Year in Review Roundtable, the podcast posted tonight. Our first hour was Danielle Moody, Rashad Robinson, Connie Rice, and Cornel West. They set this thing off in that first hour, and then we took it to another level. As Stevie Wonder said, higher ground. We went to higher ground in hour two with Elizabeth Booker Houston, Tim Golden, Connie Rice, and Dr. West, and now we're in this third and final hour again with Pennsylvania Rep. Chris Rabb, Dr. Quartey, and Dr. West. So one of the quick note here, programming note. Every Friday, of course, is the best of, and I've only done this maybe once, Miles. I think once all year long we did this, but this is going to be the second time. Tomorrow, the best of will be today's program. There's so much that we've covered in these 3 hours. The stuff was flying so fast, you couldn't catch all of it. So tomorrow, our best of will be this roundtable in repeat. In case you missed any part of it today, tune into the program tomorrow, and you'll hear the best of Tavis Smiley across the country, but it will be this 3-hour year review again tomorrow for your hearing. Dr. Quartey, I mentioned a moment ago, in this year, 2025, we've seen black faces disappeared in, I call it corporate media, mainstream media, in ways I've never seen in 30-plus years of my career. It makes me concerned, frankly, and I mean this sincerely, about the future of our democracy when our voices are being left out of the conversation. And so we got to go to YouTube. We got to go to podcasts. And I ain't hating on any of that because YouTube and podcasts are the wave of the future. I'm not casting aspersion on that. But in these mainstream corporate media spaces, we are being pushed out, which puts even more responsibility on the shoulders of independent and black media in 2026 than perhaps we've ever had.
I think you were spot on, Tavis. This is an enormous concern, and especially as we prepare to celebrate, commemorate the 250th anniversary of America, I think this is a good time to do a look back and a look forward. What's different? Mm-hmm. What does the next 250 look like? This current media environment is just not sustainable. We know that there's an independent media revolution that is afoot. So many of the brothers and sisters that you just named are a part of that revolution. The team at KBLA Talk 1580, we're a part of that revolution. Folks like Jaron Keith Gaynor over at the Griot and Ebony McMorris at AURN, I see them every day. I'm at the White House. They're a part of that independent media revolution.
The sister who bought The Root recently?
Ashley Allison, the new publisher of The Root, understands the assignment. Mm-hmm. And part of that assignment also for all of us is media literacy, right? You know, I think it was Erykah Badu. You appreciate this, Doc.
Oh, yes.
Erykah Badu.
Genius from Dallas, Texas.
You said the name. He's excited already.
Genius out of Dallas, Texas.
who said that, you know, her grandmother used to say, you got to pick your friends like you pick your fruit. Mm-hmm. And I would say to our audience, we've got to pick our media like we pick our fruit. Mm-hmm. You know, we've got to be more discerning. We've got to be more.
What kind of good trouble can we get into in 2026? You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
Helping to stretch your moral and political imagination. This is Tavis Smiley. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
If you've been diagnosed with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, this is what it sounds like to be 1,000,000 miles away. Imagine being 1,000,000 miles away. Tremfya Kuselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy. With Tremfya, clearer skin is possible. In clinical trials, at least 70% of patients saw at least 90% clearer skin at 16 weeks. Results may vary. Tremfya is also indicated for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Call 1-800-526-7736 or visit Tremfya.com.
If you're like me, 60 and retired, making ends meet, especially here at the supermarket and drugstore, is tough. I'm so blessed to have found benefitscheckup.org. It's a free and confidential website from the National Council on Aging that connected me to $1,200 a year in programs that help pay for food, medicine, utilities, and more. Maybe it can help you. benefitscheckup.org.
You know where you want to go in life, and City National Bank can help. City National knows the dedication it takes to build your vision for the future into a reality, and our team is here for you. We have a wide range of options to help, from personal savings accounts to interest-bearing money market savings accounts and more, all designed to help you get where you want to go. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Learn more at cnb.com. City National Bank is a subsidiary of Royal Bank of Canada. Member FDIC.
Sometimes he fails at fitting in, but we're okay with that. You're inside the Tavis Smiley Show.
Let's see if we can do this in 30 seconds apiece. That's all I have left. Dr. Quartey, what kind of good trouble can we get into in 2026?
I think we can get to the good trouble of telling the truth about American history. There are forces out there that are going to try and pull the okie doke and offer a revisionist American history on this 250th anniversary of America. It's time to tell the truth, and independent media is going to be key to doing that.
Representative Chris Rabb in Pennsylvania, what kind of good trouble ought we be trying to get into in 2026?
We need to be saying the quiet stuff out loud.
Yes, sir.
And not playing small and reaching people where they are, not to condescend, but to engage in earnest, particularly with young people who both political parties have been ignoring for too long. They are the sleeping giant that has awakened.
Dr. West, you've been kind to sit in this chair all 3 hours today, and so for that, we give you the last word about what kind of good trouble we can get into next year.
Well, we're just going to keep lifting every voice, not just an echo. We've heard it for the last 3 hours, and right now we got these two younger brothers, Tavis.
Yes, sir.
Who keep Tavis when I say we going to keep running for Jesus. In as much as you've done unto the least of these, the poor, the incarcerated, dealing in the hood, dealing with the barrios and the reservations, dealing with Gaza, dealing with Sudan, dealing with every form of oppression and domination. In as much as you've been in solidarity with them, you have done it unto me. And so we got our own, everybody got their spiritual roots, and we go back to Jesus, but other folk got their other spiritual roots. That's up to them. But we know what keeps us going is going to be this love that flows.
I thank all of my contributors throughout the year. I thank Chris Rabb. I thank Representative Chris Rabb out of Pennsylvania. I thank Nii-Quartelai Quartey, who I love like a brother. He is a brother. A brother beloved. Dr. West, of course, is my dear big brother that I never had. And all those voices you've heard on this program today and throughout the year, I'm grateful to all of them. I'm grateful to Miles Lowe, my board op all year long. I'm grateful to Faraji Muhammad. I'm grateful to my own. I got my own Jay-Z, Joe Zephyrin. I'm grateful to Jay-Z. We did it, y'all, another year. Today is the last live program of Tavis Smiley, but for the next 2 weeks, you're going to hear the best of Tavis Smiley from 2025. And if the Lord says the same, I'll talk to you live on Monday, January the 5th, 2026. I love y'all. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Until I talk to you again live, keep the faith.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. The House has passed a GOP health care bill in a 216 to 211 vote. Democrat Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez warns losing subsidies will hurt millions.
All of us are about to have our health costs